Hey, Blue Fleet, how are we doing? Welcome to Ace Attorney Investigations, part number 8. Yeah! We're going to be looking to finish up Turnabout Reminiscence today, and then we might start on the next case afterwards, depending how we go for time. Hey, Ara, how you doing? Welcome in. How's it going? Hope you're having a good one. My day could have been better. Yeah. Had a bit of an issue with wife's work. She did an upsy-dupsy, and they've suspended her with pay, pending investigation, so that's kind of shitty. But we will get past that, you know. We've been through worse. So if I'm a bit muted today, that will just be why, because I had a little bit of a... not a meltdown exactly, but a bit of a stressful moment, and yeah, it's taken a bit of energy out of me, so hopefully we're on for, you know, a decent one tonight, but we'll see how we go. Anyhow, sorry, give me a second, what was that? Oh, it's my stream monitor. For some reason, my stream monitor's feeding back. Right, give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Yeah, I think it's sorted. Alright. There we go. Yeah, it was feeding back, so I heard this noise. That's my own bloody voice. Anyway. Right, loading. The truth behind the KG8 incident. Remind me, was KG8 where Edgeworth's dad died? Was that SL8? Or is KG8 the one that this case regards? The one with the Kudopian embassy? That was DL9. Oh wow, I was right out. Okay. So, what is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? It smells like flowers. Uncle Bad, is this it? Isn't that Detective Baden K over there? It looks like she managed to escape the bailiff. No, that's not quite it. SL8 is the dark killings, DL9 is Edgeworth dad dying, and KG8 is the embassy murder. Right, understood. Yeah. Who could have thought that the guy called Dark, with an E at the end, would have been a bad guy, huh? Oh, too bad, but it's so pretty. I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it. Thanks, I'll treasure it always. Who could have thought that dead man would become a dead man? I know. Who could have foreseen this? Absolute scenes. Those two seem to get along rather well. Oh, here. I got something else for you. Yay! Thank you, Uncle Bad. Earlier, I ate one of these with Gummy. Gummy? Oh, you mean Gumshoe. Gummy is... He was trying to be nice to me because I was going to get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Gummy! I know he didn't kill Daddy. Don't cry. Faraday'd be sad if he saw you crying. I'm not crying. K. Oh, it's the mister from before and the lady too. Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being? You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant. So I'm related to the investigation. Is that so, Detective Bad? Yeah, I guess. What? You were just scolding us like kids to not mess up the crime scene. And now you let this child run free? Why? People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. You also had a few things you wanted to look into. Got a problem with that? I don't have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Miss Yu was looking into. Uncle Bad, I'm going to go look somewhere else now, okay? Alright, I'm counting on you. Oh, that's right. Hey, mister. Yes, what is it? I just realised I haven't put my lights on. Hold on. I knew I'd forgotten something. Hold on. There we go. I've got a couple of lights that shine down onto me. And the idea is they give me better, like, facial tracking. And they do work. They just, like, improve the lighting conditions around where I am. So, yeah. Okay. I know Gummy isn't really the bad guy. I mean it. So please, find the real bad guy, okay? I won't forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there is no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. She wandered off while I was pondering. Okay. It may not look like much, but I find that ordinary tables like this one are very useful. I think it's time they bought a new one. I wonder if they will replace this table if I hit it enough with my whip. A much too heavy-handed method if ever I saw one. Okay. This decorative plant's leaves are shinier than the ones on the plants in lobby number 2. That's probably because this next to the windows where it's easy to photosynthesize. You may be right, plus the curtains are always drawn in lobby number 2. The caretakers of this courthouse don't think enough about the plants, do they? That's because they're the courthouse's caretakers, not a bunch of botanists. Okay. I think it's just flavour, isn't it? Let's speak to Bad, see if he's got anything to say. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns you, boy. Oh, and I suppose it has something to do with Kay? It does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. I don't have time to waste. It sounds like you'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again. I don't have anything to say to you. Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate. It's that ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and opened the window. But that smell's still here. Perfume, huh? So the sweet scent in the air is perfume. Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap no-name brand. She said it's a famous brand from overseas. It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff. No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl, you can have it. I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as how you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. Miles Edgeworth, you will hold on to this bottle without fail. Why can't she ever be honest about her wants? Okay. So we got some perfume. Alright. So now we have the perfume Miss Yu wears. Just fantastic. Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigating. Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about. Okay. So you were in this room the entire recess? Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here. At least your story is consistent. Earlier, you said that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu. Ah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Then, what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in two different locations. Guess I am. Interesting. Speaking of said lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you. Ooh. Let's see, Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident. And as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on the case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case. You knew. I also know that today's trial involving the Kadobian MC staff member is being referred to as the second KG8 incident. Sorry, give me a second. I think I need to refocus my camera. My tracking is getting like kind of funky every now and then. Hold on. Calibrate. Whoa, that went a bit weird then for a second. All right, we good? I should calibrate my camera like before every stream, really, shouldn't I? Okay. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me. And told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday. And the KG8 incident. If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you. Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG8 incident. It's not exactly an happy story. Other than the people who were directly involved, you two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. Oh. Oh my god, it's a lollipop! What? Huh? I thought that was a cigarette! The honest truth behind the KG8 incident. Faraday, you and I. As you already know, we three were involved with the KG8 incident. His speech changes when he takes the lollipop out. Yeah, he's not like stalling his words, is he? Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group's secretaries? That trial was just a front. A facade? Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed. Oh, so that's why, because he was having a little sucker. Okay, understood. Then what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin Devore. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring. But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Devore was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. The boss man of the Amano Group? He can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. What is he trying to do, suspecting Mr. Amano as being involved with the smuggling? I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCO, Manny Kochin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder, Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go? If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, CC, I was supposed to protect them both. Miss, you did mention that as well. About how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister. But even I was supposed to protect them. I fell into their trap. What kind of a trap? The holes in this jacket are a testament to that trap. Oh wait, so his jacket's not just made of cheese then? Alright, understood. You mean you were fired upon? You've shot that many times in one gunfight. No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG8 incident. Man, Bad is very, like, relatable. Because, like, when I'm at work, that is my normal facial expression. Oh, the mirror's because he's checking behind him. Okay, I understand. Yeah, this is my normal facial expression when I'm in the office. It's no wonder people don't come up to me to speak. I see. I couldn't protect CCU. And the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall, far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto U. Okay. So what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked out a few cases together. But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yasugarasu case. Interesting. Did we touch a nerve? I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yasugarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial, to prove that Rel was not the real Yasugarasu, which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or disprove the accusation, but I guess I won't be doing that either. I sense that there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yasugarasu is what's necessary. So, if Kei is the second Yasugarasu, has she just, like, taken on the family mantle? Was her dad the original? Was her dad the original, maybe? And, like, if he's working with Bad, it's Bad an accomplice. Interesting. About when you first met Miss Yu, it was on the day of the verdict of the KG8 incident was handed down, was it not? Yes. Faraday and I. We apologise to her. Ooh, excuse me, guys. I hadn't had anywhere near enough coffee. I've still got quite a lot of this energy drink left. Let me just have a quick swig of this, alright? Yummy. From the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face. Hey Hades, welcome in, how you doing? Well, she certainly had enough of self-control to stop at just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough. I suppose not. You said it herself. That she never wanted to see either of us ever again. Yeah, more reminiscence. I'm going to try and finish this case off today, and then, depending how we go for time, we might start the next one. I'm pretty tired today, so it may be a shorter stream than normal, but I'm going to see how I go and how my energy levels hold up. But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct? Yeah, Faraday and I, even after KG8 incident come to a close. We continued to hunt down the smuggling ring, and got involved in a variety of cases. But there was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring. Is the ring really that big? No, the ring's very small, that's the problem. It's so small, you could give it to a guy who's about 3'6", have him and his chef, / gardener, / pet toast slave, sneak it into a mountainous area and throw it into a fucking volcano. How are these Lord of the Rings references hitting, chat? Decent? Hit? Miss? It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney. Her client was related to the smuggling ring. She was defending them. Still better than Laureline. Oh my god, Laureline. You're just giving me PTSD, Hades. Oh god. You know what the worst bit is? When we get back to EBF5 Epic mode at some point, we've got the other tree to do, haven't we? I can't remember what it's called, but the not Laureline one, the other one. We have the other tree to fight. Oh boy. Well. You got me through it, you did. You did get me through it. You know, thinking of which, I haven't seen Tim online in fucking ages. I'm just going to check Discord, like, really quickly. Telperion, that's the one. That's the one. Just give me a second. So, like... Let's have a look here. Give me a sec. Like... Yeah, I haven't seen Tim online since, like, July. Like, when I say not online, I don't mean like we haven't talked since July, but like actually online at all. I hope he's doing alright. I should check in at some point. Yeah. Yu was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rel this time for the same reason. Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect. It hates virus. 9 stack is 11% damage per turn. Holy shit. I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG incident, alright? And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer. Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rel was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him. Ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. Laureline hates burn but has purify. Telperion has no way to remove ailments. That's what we like to hear. Do you know what would really suck, Hades? Do you remember Tortigar? Do you remember Tortigar? Imagine an EBF 5 boss, but with, like, steel skin. And Sacrilene. Oh my god. Oh my... No, I have to... I have to self-terminate. I'm sorry, guys. It's Jova. It's all Jova. Goodbye. Ah! Oh no! Oh no! I've been reduced to components. Oh dear. Oh my god! It always hurts so much when that happens. Okay. Okay. I've been reduced to my constituent atoms. Yeah. Dr. Manhattan just kind of pointed at me and just said, come. And then, you know, that's kind of what happens. Huh, it doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable. You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you, that's how naive you are. How dare your son's the daughter of a Von Karma? Just like us, you felt that she had hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all. The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young, but one day you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all. Okay. Let's ask him about Sana's snake. You claim to know much about the Yasugarasu. Would you care to share what you know with me? What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel. I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Yasugarasu. More like solid Raven. What about solid Magpie? Magpie? Magpie! What? The KG8 incident and this second KG8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ. And that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yasugarasu. Mr. Rel claimed to be the Yasugarasu, however, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yasugarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd? Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already! I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yasugarasu were both killed at the same time. A reason? Huh. And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday's and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yasugarasu. If this will help you solve this case, then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yasugarasu. What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me vip you by accident. No! It's still accidentally with me anyway. There are three main reasons why the Yasugarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yasugarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yasugarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yasugarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind ever. I see. So those are the Yasugarasu's special traits. Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief. The Yasugarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrows commit murder. Oh. It was a three-legged crow. Oh, okay. Interesting. See, I always think of Yasugarasu as being like an orange, like, S shape with arms and a little smiley face. But that's because I've got Hololive brain rot. Like, there's no other reason for that. He was one of Sana's mascots. That's how I knew that Rel wasn't the real Yasugarasu right away. But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't. Listen, little girl. I'm not done talking yet. Ah! What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Cadopian embassy. Snakes are classified as tetrapods. Tetrapods. Remind me what a tetrapod is. Is that like, a tetrapod would be, yeah, 4 legs, like a... I was thinking like turtles, so I guess I'm kind of like... I'd be there with tortoises, wouldn't I? So snakes are classed as tetrapods? Ha. Why? Are snakes mostly neck or mostly tail? They're mostly tummy. They're mostly tummy. With a little bit of tail and a little bit of neck, but like 90% of a snake is just tum-tum. And you just gotta roll it onto its back and give it the little tummy fuss. Just like this. And the snake's just like... The Yasagarasu. The Yasagarasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yasagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about. In that case, how can you be so sure it was the Yasagarasu who sent it? That's easy. A special card that only the Yasagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure. And just what sort of card is it? Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Yasagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. Okay, but when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was. Ah, that's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yasagarasu now. Okay. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? His Honour would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So if you could please head over to the courtroom, it'd be much appreciated, sir. Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you? Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive. Interesting. I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself, and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty. Okay. Bad is very cool. Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. It appears that His Honour is still a bit dispirited. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony. Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honour. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict. Francisca, there's no need to further depress His Honour. But I'm not trying to, Miles. Your Honour. Your Honour, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honour, the evidence. Poor Reggie, he's really sad. Your Honour. Oh! Yes, can I help you? I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir. Your Honour, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job? Yes, I'm sorry. And I would, except the defense attorney has yet to arrive. She's busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we? Very well. In that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rel are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case. Understood, Your Honour. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men, this could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case, and maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth. I've placed all of the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you. I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they are all accounted for. Okay. Can I... What's that? There's something at the defense bench, and I kind of want to see if I can grab it. Look, I just want to see... I'm going to try not to get in trouble with RG. Evidence that Miss Yu prepared is just sitting here on this table. You know you can't just walk off with it, right? Of course I do. Miss Yu must have been caught off guard by a client's sudden accusation. I wonder how she would have defended Mr. Rell in that case if he was still alive. The judge's bench. Can I go up there? Oh my god, yes I can! Objection! This must be the judge's desk. You can tell by the gavel sitting on top. I had a dream once that I was being squashed from above by this gavel. You're such a weakling, Mars Edgeworth. You have no idea how frightening it was. Okay, interesting. Ah! I have been objected. So this is the evidence related to today's Cadopian embassy trial from Mr. Faraday's bag. You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 12, right? Oh yeah, Phoenix had that dream. Was it at the start of, it was at the start of, JFA, wasn't it? Before he got clonked on the head by the fire extinguisher, right? Yeah, I remember. And then it was followed up by a very mid case, and then a good case, and then another mid case. I remember that game. I remember that game for the wrong reasons. I know I'm going to upset a lot of people by saying that JFA was mid, but like on balance, the only good case was Big Top. So, and finally, we can now take a look at the evidence itself, and not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time. Agreed. I want to take a good look at all of the evidence from the embassy murder too. And why is that? Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about. Ugh. Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something. And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today. I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. It's also real to see the knife up close. So we have the knife, the gun, and an envelope. And what's this organizer doing here? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you. About what, Your Honor? They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation. Detective Bad said that. What a strange stroke of luck. Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. We might as well flip through it too. Okay. So, Bad is, like, tacitly helping us. He was kind of hostile at first, but, like, I think he's got the idea that Edgeworth wants to find out what's going on, and because of that, he's on side. So we got the gun. This gun was originally used to kill the Cadopian MC staff member. When the crime was reported, excuse me, the responding police found Mr. Rell still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then, this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic. He's a very good cop, so he'd help the prosecution. Nobody knows him pleasant about it, but he's our ally. Yeah, he's like our grumpy grandpa. That's probably why I relate to him. He's a grouchy granddad. Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started. Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it. I suppose I should explain it to you then. Yes, you should. Perfectly and in its entirety, if you please. On the night of September the 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. That's dead man. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mackrell was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot. A simpleton of a man, that's what he was. Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Roll was caught in the act on film by the security camera. He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice a security camera. He got shot through the heart and Rel's to blame. He gives the Yasagarasu a bad name. Bad name. The Cadopian Embassy's security system is very well designed. He may simply not have been aware there was a camera in the area. So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself? Yes, the surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rell on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see someone to someone's death in real life. Me neither. He has no style. He has no grace. This Mac Rell has a funny face. The kniff? It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act? And it's never crossed your mind that you use your riding crop for the wrong purpose? Oh, hang on. Oh, okay. So this is a balisong. Look, do you see these? You see this seam here? It's a butterfly knife. It's a Filipino style. So I think what happens is these flip upwards. So, like, basically a balisong sits in its sheath, but then you kind of, like, the blade would be here, down the middle. And these bits flip. You basically flip these bits out of the sheath into a handle, and now you've got a stabber, right? It's kind of like a switchblade, except the blade doesn't retract into the handle. The blade is sheathed inside the handle, and then you kind of flick the handle around from a sheath into a handle, and then the blade is out. If you want to know more, go on YouTube and have a look at butterfly knives. I think they're Filipino in origin. They're pretty cool. Desperately illegal. Never carry one. Never carry one. You'll get in a lot of trouble for carrying them. But you can get fake ones that you can, like, practice tricks with. But they're absolutely not something to have in your hand in any public place, or even in your house if you can avoid it. So look at they are illegal, yeah, because I mean, they're a knife. They're a knife with no other purpose other than stabbing. So in the UK, they are extremely illegal. You know, you would get arrested for having one, which is why I say don't carry one. So, Mr. Faraday's organizer, it appears he's in the habit of using it. It looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. L convicted down in here. I've collected the evidence I need to prove that Rel was the killer. Between the handgun Rel had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believes that Mr. Rel was the killer in this case. Sap gloves. Sap gloves? What's a sap glove? Hold on. It would also appear I had proof that Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. Oh, like, weighted knuckle gloves. I see. See? I was going to say, I've seen sap gloves. They're actually legal in the UK, but normally, normally sap gloves would be, like, motorcycle equipment. Sorry, I just heard something then. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. Give me a second. Sorry guys, I thought it was. And it would also appear that he had no proof Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove it's phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. And he apparently also had a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle. I hope this will finally bring it to an end. Yes, I believe Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rel may have had about being the real Yatagarasu. And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rel was a guilty party in the embassy murder. This organized a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later. Okay. Look! There's a picture stuck between these pages here. It appears to be a key. Yes! Do you see what I mean? Oh, I see. I understand now. So, right. It is a balisong, but it's a double-ended one. The blade is there. Right. Okay, I understand. That's very cool. And the Raza ornate fun of that. Just look at the design on the handle. I figured out a plot point in advance again. Whoopsie doopsie. I'll tell you why. There's a character in Blaze Blue called Hazama, and he uses butterfly knives. Let me, hang on. Let me get a picture of him. Hold on. Let me get a picture of him, and I'll show you what I mean. I just need to download this. Hold on. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. So if we save that to downloads, I'm just going to show you guys a picture of Hazzy, just so you can see what I mean. So we want to throw in an image, and then create new. It's in downloads. Here we go. Look, do you see this? You see this here? You see this here? And you see how basically that would sit there, and basically the handle kind of flips out. That's what I mean when I say like a butterfly knife. So that's obviously what's happening with this here, right? It's kind of flicking out into a key, and then you can pull the handle down, it's a knife. Now I'm a key. Now I'm a knife. Now I'm a key. Now I'm a life. You can't believe your eyes. No. You can't believe what you're seeing. The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer? The Yatagarasu's key? Detective Bad said something earlier. What's different about this time was the evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy. The Yatagarasu. The Yatagarasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicise any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about. Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret key safe. They could have just used, yeah, that knife's a special model with a blade in the handle. Instead, they took the inspiration from a real type to the point someone in the know could figure it out at a glance. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Zach, how you doing? All good here, all good here. Hope it's going alright for you, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, it's a balisong. It's a balisong knife. That's very neat. As the prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggling cases, that's to be expected. Okay. That's odd. What is it? Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer. That's the key. That's the key. Hold on. I don't think we can see... We can't see the flower there, but the waves on the handle. Look. They're the same, but they're just the other way round. So yeah, this is... The key is a knife. Interesting. Oh, wait, no, I get it. I get it, I get it, I get it. So... The knife turned out to be a key. Or it's a key all the time, and when you stick it in someone, it unlocks their death. Yeah. You see? I am smart. That certainly is odd. The weapon that was used to kill the Kodopian embassy staffman was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from? Isn't it obvious? It was brought into his courthouse by Mr. Rell. That's an only logical conclusion, right? No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside. In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up inside the courthouse? I need to think carefully here. There is nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I'll need to take another good look at the evidence. Miles Edgeworth, can I take some facts that you have yet to answer me? That means that you don't have an answer for me. Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca. What? Then what is it? One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. And it was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse.
Take that!
Prison wallet, yeah. This Yatagarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse. You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth. You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca. Hey, G-Man, how you doing? Nice voice on Franny. Yes. You see, in this case, she is 13 years old. She is just a very young German girl. So therefore, I have to do her normal voice, but I have to pitch it up several octaves. I'm sorry. Don't the colour ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything? They do remind me of a knife. Very good. Both the Yatagarasu's key in this photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yasugarasu's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife. You don't seriously mean to say... It appears that you finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are in fact one and the same. But that's impossible! Even if that is what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let us examine this knife in a little more detail. Yeah, look. See? There's the key end. And it's hollow down there, so it's a balisong. That's very cool. That's very cool. So if we go here... Yeah! I can't believe it turned into a key. To think there was such a trick in this thing. So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key the Yasugarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now. Okay. Frankly, I'm shocked. Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside. But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday. Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday, meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief, Yasugarasu. Then maybe Mr. Rel really was the Yasugarasu, and he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario? No, not really, especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rel was not the Yasugarasu. Besides, as Detective Bad said earlier... But, when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was. I see. Alright then, I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yasugarasu. It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case. Okay. That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court. The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? The video showing the moment in which Mr. Rel committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed? Are you done with your inspection of the evidence? Your lunch break's over, Zach. No worries. You take care and have a good one, alright? Hopefully see you soon. Next planned stream is Sunday evening, so that's going to be Haunting Ground. We're going to finish the game off, so yeah. I'm going to put some waiting rooms up later on tonight as well for next week, so keep an eye out for those and you'll see what's coming up in the next few days. Broadly speaking, it's a predictable week. You're going to be kind of familiar with what's coming. No, I ain't got band practice this week, so yeah. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. Pretty straightforward. Not streaming Tuesday, not streaming Saturday. These seem to be good days for us to kind of default to, so yeah. Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honour, I'm missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence. Your Honour, for you derelict in your duties. What? No, I dare not neglect my duties. What do you take me for? No, Your Honour, the most important piece of evidence in today's trial. The surveillance video is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me. But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene? There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime, Defendant Lobby number 2. This music! Okay. Oh! It's long. It's Long Dong. That's Detective Bad, but who is he with? I've never seen that officer before. So, did you find it? No, not yet, and I've looked everywhere. I see. Well then, please continue with the search. Understood. I'll continue the search. So you're the one running this show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at the crime scenes. Hey, Andy, how you doing, man? How's it going? How dare you? Just who do you think you are? What was that all about, and who was that man just now? Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life. Does he even know that we're standing right here behind him? I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids? How short is Fran? In this case, she is 13 years old, so she's like very... She's short enough that it's become a point of humor. I think in like the main series, she's reasonably tall when she's an adult. Like she's probably like 5'9", I would guess. But in this, she's like less than... She's about 4'10" at the minute because she's a 13-year-old kid. That's why she's got the very high-pitched German voice. Normally, when I'm voicing Franziska, she sounds something like this. When she is an adult. But when she is a child, her voice goes up an octave, and she sounds like an excessively jolly German snacking on chocolate. 5'4" as an adult? Oh, she's actually very short then. She's like yeetable. Damn. Hang on. As an adult, right? As an adult, does it say... Ara, does it say how much she weighs as an adult? Is it roughly 40 kilograms? I'm too good at that, yeah. We don't have weight. Understood. Understood. I'm too good at that. Yeah, long hours of practice back at school. We used to do this voice in German lessons, and it would drive the teacher sehr schlecht. Misbegotten youth. It looks like you were paying attention after all. Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of me head. Ah, so that mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now? The guy came here from the Republic of Shengfa to study. He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's travelling the world to study different philosophies of detainment from scratch. By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication. He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he is rude. Wow, fuck you, I don't like Detective Bad anymore. I don't like Detective Bad anymore. He just trash-talked my gummy. My little gum bum. My little Gummings and Gumsworth. Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time. I agree, however, I can think of one young lady that the same also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad? Earlier, that little girl was poking around in Detective Lobby number 1 as well. Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you. I highly doubt that it has nothing to do with me. Fine, if this is the game I must play, I'll take this opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him. Okay. I think I see what I need to do here. The final testimony. Oh, okay. Earlier, you were in lobby number 1, and now you're here in lobby number 2. You are quite the busy man, Detective Bad. Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say. I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked about what happened again, correct? I don't have anything left to say to you, boy. Ugh, boy, you'll see. I will draw my answer from you one way or another. Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation? I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think? Ah! Please, we are asking you just for a bit more of your cooperation. Don't push me, kid. I'm going to show him the key. Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph? Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case. In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu's key are one and the same? What? That's impossible. It looks like he didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yasugarasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yasugarasu's key to prove that Mr. L was not the real Yasugarasu. Isn't that correct? I guess so. However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was in fact a knife. Yeah, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How do we miss something as big as this? I noticed that since a little while ago you appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for. Yeah, that's right. And why were you searching for it? Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life? Detective Bad, so that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more. Alright. But it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing'll change. Okay. Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1. My answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm going to do this. That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up and find the truth behind this case. Okay. I was in lobby number 1, talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshots right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2. Okay. It sounds like the exact same story you told us before. Indeed, however, I feel that we have yet to draw out all the information that we can. Okay. This is going to be interesting.
Hold it!
Why did Miss Yu choose lobby number 1? Answer me. Who knows? She just said that she had something she wanted to talk to me about. And we walked into lobby number 1 together. That's all. So his answer remains the same as before, I see. What were you talking about? I was hoping you could expand on what exactly you were discussing with Miss Yu. Trivial stuff. It was nothing important. That's for me to decide. Alright, I suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on then.
Hold it!
Okay. Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. If the gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, that would give the other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now. Sure. I didn't hear any other strange sounds till that gunshot. This feels important. This feels important. Do I have anything else that would make a sound? Because the balloon popped, didn't it? The balloon burst. Am I cooking here, chat? Am I cooking here? Because, like, I'm thinking the... I just realised actually something. Give me a second. I just realised that YouTube chat is, like, kind of far of that. Let me just drag YouTube chat. There. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Say Scum Kaiose? I could do, yeah. Because I think the thing is, he says, this is Investigations 1. This is Investigations 1. So he said that he didn't hear any other strange sounds, but the thing is, the judge was fooled by the balloon popping. The judge thought the balloon popping was the gunshot. And if he's been in lobby number 1 the whole time, then he should have heard the balloon pop.
Objection!
Yes! Haha! I am smart. Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same colour as the one Kay was holding. Oh, so you knew about that girl's balloon? Yeah, I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her. Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon. So, what about the balloon? I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point. What are you getting at? Huh, this fragment was found in the hallway, right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot. Oh, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh? On top of that, His Honour said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene. Yes, which means that His Honour heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. And if you were in lobby number 1 at that time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well. So? Don't give me a so. If it just proves that there's a flaw in your testimony. The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivety cracking. And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked. Oh, okay. What is that supposed to mean? The doors and walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. Then, you mean... Since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound. No! Ooh. I knew that's what he was going to say. Then that means the Scruffface's testimony is completely useless. If the rooms are soundproof, then of course he wouldn't hear any sign of a struggle. No! That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now did you get it, kids? Miles, I thought Viva was supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around. The other way around? It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if one were in lobby number 1. However, if we examine this situation in reverse, a person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. And yet Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? What do you mean, how? I just did. It would appear that you have yet to realise the contradiction in your own words. Or, how so? If the rooms are soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I had thought. Which means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to? It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have. The game is telling me how they heard it. A person can't get through the window, but a noise can. Because the window that Gumshoe was sat next to was open. The window he stood next to is open. Therefore, the window in defendant lobby number 2 must be open. It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again, huh? The state of the crime scene? Wait, could it be... It's that ultra-strong perfume you wear. She spilled some of it. Ugh! Way too noisy. The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? She's thrown it. It's her! It's her! She's thrown that tape out the window. Why? Huh? What? Hold on. Because the scent of flowers is in the air. Damn it! I thought I was onto something there. All right, fair enough. Take it step by step. Okay, don't overcook. I'm onto something, but not the right something. It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows. And yet the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through those open barred windows. Okay. Now then, what else besides the smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations. Okay. These are the only two things we have. And we can't go back? No. The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Rell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess, and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence that is the missing evidence created for me. It's the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place. Miles, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time thinking and let's start looking again. It's not a waste of time to think, for I've figured out where we should look. And where would that be? I believe we should examine the television. The TV. Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. Okay. The VCR player. Now, children, you see that there? That's a VCR player, right? That's a VCR player. Tape cassettes go in there. I have to tell you guys this because you kids are all growing up in your age of skibbity Netflix and Amazon Prime Riz and things like that. Back in my day, we had to put cassette tapes into these little machines and then run them, and then eventually my cassette tape deck died when the tape got unraveled in the middle of the machine and the machine broke. I was very sad about that because it was actually my granddad's VCR player. Programming VCRs to record hot stuff at night, that's the life. Oh my god, that takes me right back to when I was younger. You know what a VCR is, Gramps? Yeah, fair. Hi, how you doing? Welcome in. How we going? So let's examine the window. The window is wide open. The scent of flowers is being blown in from the outside. I think it softens the heavy air in here somewhat. Windows in both lobby number 1 and 2 are open. Maybe it's if we're trying to air out the room, just like in lobby number 1. Or maybe they sought to ease someone's attention through fresh air. You can fuck up tape contents with magnets? Yes, you can. This is actually a plot point in Thunderbirds, would you believe it? So there's an episode called Terror in New York City. And it starts off with Virgil in the Firefly putting out an oil rig fire. And then he is being filmed by a news crew. And then Scott gets wind of it. And he's like, right, I'm going after them. And says, hey, can you destroy those tapes? You know, this is a top secret thing. And they're like, no, we're not going to do it. And he just activates this massive electromagnet on Thunderbird 1. And it wipes their film tape. It just wipes it out completely. So I actually knew about magnets fucking with tape content from when I was about like 5 years old, actually. The power of puppets. The power of puppets, right? With Mr. Faraday and Mr. L in the same room, I imagine the latter to be the case. You used to have almost all of the Land Before Time movies on tape. Damn, me as well. Holy shit, those films were good. Like the first Land Before Time film. The first Land Before Time film. Chef Kiss. One of my childhood top picks. But was there really a need to open the window just for that? It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside. It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end. This tape, could it not be the missing surveillance tape? I suppose, but... Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if I verified the contents of this video? Sure, knock yourself out. Alright then, let's revise this and see what we have. If I remember correctly, the footage of Rel killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape. Understood. This should be about right. Now then, let's see. Ah! This is the footage of Mr. Rel shooting the embassy staff member! I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along. Okay. This sad. What's the meaning of this? It appears that Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder. Do you mean since you figured it all out then? Yes. All I have to do now is show what the gunshot Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. Ah, fine. In that case, show me what you've deduced. It's so obvious. The TV was jacked up super loud, and the tape with the gunshot was played through the television. Now, to show what the gunshot Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from. Okay. So someone left this video on play the whole time, huh? I suppose so. Other than the killing, there's hardly a sound on the rest of the tape. Then why did you tell us it makes that loud noise when Scruffy got near it? That's probably because the tape had run out and stopped its playback. It's not just bad luck that Detective has the worst timings of world too. Someone purposely left this video on play. The question is why? So, we need to... It's a very easy deduce in terms of what they want us to do, right? The surveillance video on the window makes more sense. Yeah, we have to show what the gunshot was and through where they heard it. So I think we have to tie the video player to the gun. I'm going to save before I do this just because it's a little bit weirdly in terms of the way it's worded. Right? Eureka! This piece of evidence will clear away the last remaining contradiction in this case. Okay. So, the videotape does not prove what the gunshot was, despite the fact that it very clearly does. All right, that makes sense. Sure, let's do the surveillance tape here first, then, huh? Eureka! If the door and windows to the crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed, the killer could have used the gun and no one would have been the wiser. That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing as it were. However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot. Well, the windows in lobby number 1, number 2, and the hallway were open. So naturally, the people in these locations could hear it. Ah, but then, why would the criminal open the window in the first place? To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose. Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this. But why was that necessary in the first place? I want to real answers and demand satisfaction. Very well, I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was it the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of? So, Faraday has definitely been killed with a bullet. We know this because the bullet is in the room. We've verified it is the same bullet that killed him, right? And we know that the murder weapon is the same because they did the ballistic markings, and the ballistic markings came back matching, didn't they? Excuse me, that's a fart. So the only logical conclusion is when the crime took place, because if all the windows were closed and these rooms are super soundproof, he could have been dead in there when the judge thought he heard the gunshot. No one would have known. No one would have known, right? So the murder could have taken place well ahead of that, and then the sound has been set to play half an hour afterwards, and that's when people think the murder's happened. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to try that, because I'm pretty confident in my thought process there. I'm pretty confident in my thought process, but I'm also, like, kind of stupid sometimes. The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes, and they used the gunshot in the surveillance video to do so. They delayed the discovery on purpose to create an alibi, yeah. So that's why the tape was left running. You mean, the gunshot I heard was from this video? Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period, and planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer. Oh, sweet health. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, what is it? Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in courtroom. Give me a sec, guys. Damn it. She says that she's identified the murderer, but she wants to clarify something. It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something. Understood. Please tell her that I will be right over. I'll come along. I want to... Wrong voice. I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say. It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth. Okay. To be continued. Wait, really? Ha. Huh. I wasn't expecting that. Alright. Confrontation former. Ah. I was right. I was right. It is her. Slippery mare. Now the question would be, why? And I think that's what we're going to try and find out now, huh? Okay, what are you doing here? Don't you like it when the insufferable pricks are revealed to be the baddies? Yeah, actually, yeah. Sometimes it's just neat. Then again, I do quite like a villain who's like, oh, maybe they got a point. Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating. But the object you're looking for is already... Okay, don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation. Okay, you got it. Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you were looking for? If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do. Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. I guess it's a detective thing, huh? I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. The moment we can finally lay this case to rest? Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I think we've won and solved this case already. Don't you? We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds. Oh, I see we even have a viewer in the gallery, and... Why, even Mr. Bad is here. A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander. I have a duty to see this case through to the end. No matter how it turns out. Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements. During the time when our suspect was in the hallway, I also confirmed there's no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must without a doubt be Detective Gumshoe. And that's all you have? Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion in this case. Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there is always time for a rebuttal, and we are standing in a court of law. It would be more than appropriate to follow the rules of court in this case, don't you think? I'm so like a rookie to think such a thing. But alright, I'll play along and give you a proper testimony. If my logic is correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is prove it by showing who the real killer is. Okay. Everyone, Sam the suspect, has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? Also confirmed there's no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion. The Detective Gumshoe's the killer. I can't stand this woman. Now that you have your testimony, I expect a good rebuttal, Edgeworth. But of course, there is no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump cards she has up her sleeve. Understood.
Hold it!
Okay. The suspect, but I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven. Are you joking, Edgeworth? I assure you this is no joke. Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier that the detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll. Yes, that is correct. But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is there's no one else who can corroborate what he did since the snacking. I see she's done her research well. Which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she's withholding. She's trying to frame Gumshoe, take her down. I am going to take her right the fuck down. Right? She's going to go down so far. She's going to go straight past hell. She's going to go straight into super hell. And, like, the super devil's just going to be like, you tried to take down Gumshoe? No. You go to ultra hell. You go to ultra hell. And then the ultra devil's like, no, what the fuck, man? Why are you dumping this little thing on me? No. She goes down to giga hell. She'll be going so far down in the deep sky. Deep sky won't take her. Deep sky's just like, what are you doing, man? Don't fly tip.
Hold it!
Straight into Unicron. Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide. The scrunch time hasn't lies in your further back. Anyway, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene, lobby number 2, has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. And because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through a window and into the garden? That's the first place everyone looks silly. The police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility, you know. Isn't that right, Mr. Bad? Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints or anything. The courtyard garden. And I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case.
Hold it!
Okay. Are you absolutely positive that there are no possible routes of escape? Of course I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal would be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it into the future. Ah! Okay.
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hand? He was still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. I'm not about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. Okay. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisco or myself speaking with you about the subject. Oh, but there were witnesses. For you, there's your mentor who gave you an alibi. I see. As for the little Missy, she came to the courthouse during the recess. I was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave him quite a whipping for that, so I heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I would not be forcibly stopped by a guard or bailiff or by anyone else. Wait, so basically the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor. By the way, Miss Yu, What about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty? What about them? Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time? What kind of idiot did you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot, to the time Mr. Bad and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bad heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when that gunshot you heard went off? What then? That gunshot was a trap meant to manipulate our perception of when the crime took place. Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1, can you explain how that could have been fabricated? Yes. Now, I think we play the tape. Because we don't have any evidence that's the windows.
Take that!
That tape. Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rell the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded in the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that had its volume turned all the way up. You can't honestly mean the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video. Ah, but I do. Which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. That's the only thing I can think of, too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up, and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes for the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe. Sounds from a television don't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and Little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we knew, didn't we, Miles? Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms. Of course, I'm not about to admit we had no idea until only a little while ago. That's right, and if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet, we heard the gunshot clear as day. And... she's dabbing her makeup on a lot. She's the killer. She's the killer. Oh, you sneaky. You sneaky. You very sneaky. With your square hair and your scaly earrings and your makeup. That's it, end of story. But it's not. How should I explain why she was able to hear a gunshot from a soundproof room? The window was open. There is actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And it is that despite the fact both rooms have air conditioners installed, a window was open in each. Now, we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window in lobby number 1 was also open.
Objection!
It's probably just coincidence they were both open at the time.
Objection!
Huh. It was no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window open in lobby number 1? The answer is that a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. And the person who triggered that action, that person is the real guilty party. Yeah, they're in sync! Look at that! Amazing. Beautiful. Sinks! Yes! The real killer in this double murder is... because it was her perfume. Her perfume was what caused... Ah! Her perfume's what caused the window to be opened.
Take that!
Miss Callisto Yu, I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. What? You indict me? Oh, look! Look! Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she's the killer? I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she's the only one who could have done it. Well, Miss Yu, do you still feel like laughing now? Of course I do, Edgeworth. My argument must not be tight enough yet. Although, never thought things would spiral into this. But I'll have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my rebuttal now, right? Okay. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. This music is so fucking good. This one is stupid easy. You argue that the window was open. However, do you have proof that it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked at you for going around accusing people of murder like this, especially with logic as full of holes as yours. Huh. This is where it really starts. Yeah, look, let me just... Perfume given to Bad by you. Same perfume as the one spilled in lobby number 1. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second or the truth will blow away. Now is the time to put the passative von Karma perfect proof to the test. Let's go, guys. Now, I think the proof is the perfume bottle, don't you? Da 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 da. How is this music so baller? How? How is it so fucking good? Oh, we grooving. We've even got Iron Mouse grooving on our channel. The music on the duology is crazy. Yeah. Look at Mousy go. Look at Mousy go. That's amazing. Blanky dance. Yeah. The music got severely improved with the remake. Oh, nice. Right. Do I have proof that it was her who did that? Yeah, get the blanky dance going. Oh, yeah. Now, same perfume as the one spilled in lobby number 1. I'm going to try and present this straight away. Hang on, let me just check the history again really quickly, huh? So. Who was it who opened the window? Bad didn't open the window, did he? I think Bad opened the window in lobby number 2, he said? But lobby number 1, who would have done it there? Because there was a scent of flowers, right? I'm going to try it. Oh, we haven't looked at this yet, have we? Don't focus on who, focus on why. Focus on why. So because the perfume stank to high heaven, it was a very strong smell. So if the perfume spilled, you'd have to open the window to get rid of the smell of it. And that's what so in the crime scene, the window is open. The window is open to let the sound through. But in lobby number 2, she spilled the perfume to make someone else open the window. She spilled it to make someone else open the window to get the smell out so that they're then going to hear the gunshot.
Objection!
Yeah! I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Miss Yu? Oh, Edgeworth, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I'd recommend for boys, you know. This isn't mine. That's right, it's mine, and I received it from Detective Bad, you see. Miss Yu, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. That you are the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bad. You're super easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume? While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad. Oh, I know. You also knew that if you spilled it, he'd naturally move to open a window.
Objection!
Come now, I've already told you that's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1, I just left it open, you know? So maybe it's just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window.
Objection!
The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people are made to hear the shot. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. You mean... Miss Yu, you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. When you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway. Is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yu. Uh-oh. You accused me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I could have killed Mr. Faraday. Couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday. Would you care to testify as to why? Huh. Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Okay. Yes! We're bouncing. Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of Karma. In any case, it simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I didn't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Oh, you fucker. You fucker. Oh, Miles, her testimony is flawless. Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking information, I'll just draw it out of her. I have it. I fucking have it. I have it. I have it. I have it. Try to press it first. Yeah. Let me tell you what's happening, right? Let me tell you what's happening, because I've worked it out. So, the weapon has the secret ability to change into a key that Yasugarasu sent. This is a photo of the key that Yasugarasu sent turns into a knife. Now. She knows about this. She knows about this. And I think that she's the one... She's got something to do with this. I'm not exactly sure what, but she's the one. She knows about this. So I think she must have been in cahoots with Faraday. Maybe... But why would she kill him then? Unless he was gonna, like, bust something to do with her. Let's press it. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Let's try a press here. Like you said, Hayes, we'll try and press.
Hold it!
At this rate, she will inevitably escape. But if she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from his evidence bag. Miles, what do you think you're doing? I'm drawing the truth out of it, that's what I'm doing. Huh? But I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today. Well, I suppose that's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use. So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife inside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key the Yasugarasu had sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Did you really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest. Ha, never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you just said to your testimony. Sure. Why not? I'll even say it as many times as you like. There was a key in his evidence bag. You can't kill anyone with a simple key. Oh, can't I? Can't I? Can't I? I think that... has a secret ability to change into the key the Yasugarasu sent. Turns into a knife. I think we can play either of these, but let's try and play the key.
Objection!
Yeah! Get fucked. Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. This is a picture of the key the Yasugarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it, in fact, has the secret ability to transform into a knife. You can present either. Ah, nice, nice. Which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the Yasugarasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not? Yes. Well, with the Yatagarasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Ugh. Do you understand now? Just knowing of the existence of... Uh-oh. Breakdown time? I still haven't had a good look at it. Showing it to me from that far away, you could be lying for all I know. Don't give her a knife, Miles, you stupid man. You would, even now, still feign ignorance. I'm not feigning anything. We can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I've heard some very interesting rumours about him. Ah, are you mocking my papa? Don't you dare sully the good name of my mentor. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real. Oh, who knew there was such a trick to this thing? Are you satisfied now? But of course, you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and the Yatagarasu's key are one of the same. Otherwise, someone like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement and who would never have been privy to this trick, would never have known about it to begin with. Furthermore, there's something that Yatagarasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was? Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right, I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. But he didn't tell me about how the key actually transforms.
Objection!
What you are saying is simply not possible. Oh, and why not? Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. For within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
Objection!
I'm not sure he would have written everything in his organizer, you know. Wouldn't something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Objection!
No. Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. Dun 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 dun. We're grooving again. How about taking a look at this motherfucking updated autopsy report? Oh, baby. We're grooving. What would have been highly classified information, even within the police force, and is something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition? Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. You gotta go, Hades, no worries, yeah. I'll be wrapping up relatively soon, so cheers for the hangs, guys. What we're going to do is get to the end of the case, and then we'll wrap up from there. So, next week we'll start on the final case of this game. Ooh. And after that, I don't know if we're going to go straight into 2, or if we might go do Sodge. I'll message and find out which is the longer game. We'll do the shorter game first, right? Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh? How can you laugh at a time like this? She probably just realised the flaw in her logic and is actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with. I suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I'd like you to state that I also know how you know the real nature of this knife. Do you now? Why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me? Oh, I will, and I'll wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it, the moment of truth, the secret behind the Yasugarasu's key. Only one person would have knowledge of it from the get-go. Who would know from the start that the Yasugarasu's key could change into a knife? The Yasugarasu. You motherfucker!
Take that!
There is only one person who would have known about the dual nature of this key. and that is the person who sent the Yasugarasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Yasugarasu herself. Are you saying that this law is the great Sif Yasugarasu? Miss Yu, you used Mr. Rell to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You, who profess to bear a grudge against criminals. Why? Why do something like this? Uh-oh. Who would have thought that you... A stupid rookie prosecutor would see through me. He's sending the biggest chill down my spine right now, Edgeworth. Wait, what? Is she turned on by this? Oh, God. This feeling of thrill. It's even greater when I sneak into some place. You killed Faraday. Why? Answer me, Callisto, you. Callisto, you, huh? That's not my real name. Because my real identity is, yeah, the great thief Yasugarasu. Uh-oh. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he discovered my true identity, which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for a little favour in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being Yasugarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel caves to only two things, money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held onto Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let them continue the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both. But didn't you say that you despised criminals? I do, really. You. Have you forgotten about the KG8 incident too? Maybe. What sort of woman for... So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent? Huh. Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated he was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yasugarasu by using this Yasugarasu's key as evidence, and he'd bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I kind of predicted it very easily earlier, but okay. I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext I had to talk to Mr. Faraday, and in order to get in with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yasugarasu's key, just like that. He never noticed that I changed the key into a knife in that plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life. Oh, could you kill him? I knew him for a long time, you know. At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death. But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Rel as well. I can't believe I mentioned why when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness. And how that led the killer to think about setting them up as though they'd killed each other. Then the trick with the surveillance tape. Yeah, I hadn't actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape. Which is why I had Rel help me set up the crime scene. And after all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with a bullet. You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you? How could you betray a client? A client? If you want to talk about who was a client of whose first, it was me. I was the client in the murder of the Cadopian Embassy staff member, Dead Man. What? You ordered a hit job. You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had Dead Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an... Wait. She's part of it? It can't be. You're... That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring. Oh, you motherfucker. How could this... You don't mean... You're working with Manny Corchin too, do you? Maybe. Maybe not. Guess you'll never know. The Yatagarasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer. That's right, little girl. Yatagarasu is just another killer. Be quiet, you. Yatagarasu, you can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court. Uh-oh. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know the Yasugarasu has 3 legs? Do you know why that is? Hmm? No? Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yasugarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her work. What the fuck? You really are too naive, Edgeworth. You even handed the Asagarasu's key right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it. Ugh. You mean the key was your real target? And even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on a criminal? Well, you may regret what comes with your negligence. You two, get down! My body, I can't move. Hey, mister, to your right! You! Ha, what the hell, yo? Are you alright, Francisca? I'm perfectly fine, Miles. Her voice is shaking, but it looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot. Sorry, but looks like she got away. I called the precinct. They should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket. He may say he's fine, but he looks quite shaken. But more importantly, boy, I mean, Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma, are you two hurt? Oh, we earned his respect. He called us by name. We've earned boss's respect, yo. I'm absolutely fine. I'm also alright, thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know. She just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, and... hey, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Detective Bad, sir. I'm sorry I doubted you. Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Ah. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. I heard about what happened. From Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Yo! Ara, you motherfucker, you never told me that there was a Detective Bad moment. You never told me there was a Detective Bad moment. Oh my god. Nah, don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got it, Pops. Pops? We've watched far too many detective dramas recently, have we? Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comment. I should get back to the investigation. I swear, I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Be careful, Detective Bad, and take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday. Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything. Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. Oh, Judge is sad. I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. Oh, it was no problem, really. I mean, I lied to, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honour. Well, even if he didn't have his honest testimony, I think the lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. Well, so long as you're not fired, you should work hard, give all that you have, and perform your duties well. Oh, and one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me. She did? Oh, what is it? What was it that Kay left for me? The proof of their friendship. It's the Swiss roll, isn't it?
Take that!
It's a courthouse special Swiss roll. Can I really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. Thanks a bunch. You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal. I'm going to eat this right now. Sure, go ahead. The Swiss rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay brought together. While the one Kay saved never reached her father, it would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective. He's so happy, it's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him. Oh, that was good, pal. I can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in Swiss roll paradise or something. I've got to thank Kay myself. Hey, wait, where is she? He only noticed just now. Was his mind not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bad left to go search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him. Yeah, you betcha, pal. I'm going to go help him. Oh, but first... You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? I'm going to sit right by your side from now, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I sense nothing but a most troublesome relationship for that ominous statement. We should go home to him, Miles. We have to hurry and report what has happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective. Roger, sir, and don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case real well. I'll be counting on you. The sense of trouble is definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor. But the detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I have tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he's caused me. Oh, fuck off, Edgeworth. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now... So, do you remember now? Yes, I remember everything. Kay, it's been a while. Kay, you sure grew up a lot. Of course, thank goodness. I thought you two had totally forgotten about me. You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where have you been all this time? Ha ha ha, Gummy, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. And they live really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much. Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're all right. Ha ha ha! So, does it all make sense now? You betcha it does. Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and... Hold it! Actually, there are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. Huh? First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yasugarasu? The Yasugarasu is Callisto Yu, the woman who killed your father. No, you're wrong. The real Yasugarasu was my father. Oh. Mr. Faraday was the Yasugarasu. Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently, and I found a secret diary hidden among his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yasugarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure. But that's impossible. What's with that look? You don't believe me? It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now. Alright then. How do you explain this? It's a way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing. Yep. That's Little Thief. Truth be told, this is the Yasugarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father. Whoa, Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor, he was really a great thief, huh? Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. But he was killed. And the Yasugarasu was no more. But despite that, the Yasugarasu has been spotted again recently. Someone other than you? Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article. The Yasugarasu sent the embassy a calling card. Yeah, I mean, this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto Yu lady's behind this. Because the real Yasugarasu would never send something like a gaudy card out. But the Yasugarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicised. That's what Detective Bad told me 7 years ago, if memory serves. Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out, so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yasugarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. So you're saying that I have your father's and Miss Yu's identities backwards? Yeah, because the real Yasugarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real noble Yasugarasu. If I don't, my father will never be able to rest in peace. Kay. Kay, you're so honourable. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal. Even if you are honourable, a thief is a thief. And if you are plotting to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, you guys are not making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support? Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman. That evil woman? You mean Callisto Yu? I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me? Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you. Huh? Owe me for what? When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I'm not so rude as to leave favours unrepaid. Then you mean... Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things, once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you! Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Isn't that great, Kay? Yeah, it sure is, Gummy. Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. Oh, what is with that chummy relationship? The great thief Yasugarasu. Yay! Yippee! Sorry, I just had to catch a cat. I'm sorry. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Byrne Faraday, Callisto Yu, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yasugarasu. And the Yasugarasu's real goal. It would all come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay. Is that the end of... That's the end of the case. Oh, nice. Nice, 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 nice. Right, okay. Let's get that save on. Don't save there, save there. There we go. Okay, right, let's pull over to here. Right, nice, nice, nice. So, tomorrow I'm not streaming. Tomorrow I am having an off day with my wife. We're going to get a takeaway. We're going to have a nice chilled out evening, I think. My next planned stream is Sunday. We're going to be finishing off Haunting Ground. And then we've only got like a few days worth of Spoopy Month left. We've got Monday, Wednesday, Thursday to get in a couple of horror games. So I need to fathom out what we're going to play. I've got Night Delivery, which is a Chiller's Art game, which wouldn't take us too long. We've got Resident Evil 3 to finish off. And then, do we have anything else that I can do like as a one-shot? I'll have a look and see if I can find like a final one-shot to do. That could be neat, right? But then after that, we're going to go back to slightly more regular scheduling. So, you know, the games that I'm playing are going to open up again a little bit. We might start getting some old stuff that we haven't finished back out, for example. I need to have a think about what my content's going to look after Spooky Month, because there's stuff that we started that we never finished. There's stuff that I mean, like Fields of Mystery, we'll be going back to that almost certainly. But everything else I need to have a bit of a think about. For the moment, though, I am going to pop off and go chill with wife. I hope you guys had fun tonight. I certainly have done. I will be back reasonably soon. Sunday, like I said, you might catch a tweet or two from me between now and then, but otherwise I'm just going to go chill out for now. So cheers for the hangs, guys. It's been good fun. I will see you all very soon. In the meantime, take lots of care. I'll see you next time.